Good evening, everyone. Happy Thursday to you. It is Weather for Weather Geeks time on this third day of November. We're heading towards the first weekend of the month, and wow, does the forecast look, for the most part, pretty nice. Now, we do have some things to talk about, including some wind and some rain, but a lot of the daylight hours as we go towards the weekend will be just fine. But I'll tell you, the fog was nasty last night. It was more widespread and thicker than I thought it would be. I thought it would not be as big of a deal as the previous night. But my trip home last night, I live in southern Columbiana County, and my trip was brutal. I had to stay way below the speed limit last night and could hardly see a thing at times. The visibility, for the most part, zero for parts of my trip home last night. But the one thing that did happen as expected, the fog burned off pretty quickly today, and that led to a nice-looking afternoon with that low November sun angle, but it was nice to see the sun today, and it was easy to see how much faster the fog burned off today when you compare the temperatures today and yesterday. The blue line is yesterday, the yellow line is today, and once the fog burned off, temperatures shot up quickly. We made it to 67 officially at the airport. We're at kind of the tail end of what is traditionally our fog season around here, which roughly runs from late summer, late August, mid to late August, until late October. Actually, the foggiest time of the year is at the very end of August and early in September. You've still got dew points that are elevated. It's still summertime, a lot of moisture near the ground, but the nights are getting longer. We tend to see big areas of high pressure building in at that time of the year that gives us calm conditions. And so the number of fog episodes tends to tick up pretty fast as the kids head off to school, those first few weeks of school. And the fog numbers here do decrease pretty rapidly as we flip from October to November, but this year is definitely an exception. The fog has been high impact over the last couple of days. All right, high school football playoff action, many games across the area Friday evening, all of them 7 p.m. kickoffs, and wow, more like September rather than early November. 64 degrees at kickoff and only 61 by the end of our games. Temperatures will not drop very fast tomorrow night. A warm front heads our way, and deep southerly flow will make for a fast start temperature-wise on Saturday. We'll have no trouble getting into the mid-70s Saturday. Now, the record is 77 Saturday. I suspect that's not going to be broken, but we'll make a run at it before the afternoon is through. The other thing that will become a story Saturday, I think, is going to be the wind. It'll be noticeable, especially midday and afternoon, but here comes our cold front and nothing more than some showers overnight, maybe a gusty thunderstorm in a couple of spots in the wee hours of Sunday morning, but then any raindrops first thing Sunday morning will be gone in a hurry, leading us to a nice afternoon. Here's one model depiction of the wind gusts on Saturday. Well-mixed atmosphere and a pretty tight pressure gradient with low pressure to our west, high pressure to our east, and some 30, 35, maybe even 40 mile per hour gusts. Could become pretty commonplace by lunchtime and into the afternoon. Leaf rustling season will be here on Saturday. A lot of leaves on the ground, of course, and they'll be blowing around all over the place with that gusty wind on Saturday. So 75, our current forecast for Saturday. Again, the record's 77. Look at that low Saturday night, 57. That's above where our average high is at this time of the year. And again, showers most likely a few hours after sunset Saturday night through maybe first thing Sunday morning. But by Sunday afternoon, we're looking good with decreasing clouds, gusty breeze, but not as windy as during the day on Saturday. Of course, this is the weekend of the time change. As daylight saving time comes to an end, standard time resumes. Always a good reminder at this time of the year and also in the spring when we spring forward. Check the batteries in your smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors. And the sun, of course, will set an hour earlier, which means Sunday evening the sunset will be at 5:12. We're only a few weeks away from pre-5 p.m. sunsets in early December, the darkest time of the year, early to mid-December, especially in the evenings. The sunsets actually start getting later before Christmas. The sunrises don't reach their latest point in the winter season until January, but the sunsets reach their earliest point during the first half of December. All right, next week is Election Day on Tuesday, and Election Day morning, we actually have a total lunar eclipse that will be visible. It looks like the sky will be clear enough, but it comes with a caveat. This will be for early morning risers, and it will be low on the horizon. This will be in the few hours before moonset and sunrise Tuesday morning. So the partial lunar eclipse gets underway at about 4:09 a.m. as the top of the moon will start to turn a little bit red and dim The total eclipse runs from about 5:16 to 6:41. This is when the moon is totally in the Earth's shadow, and it should be a nice reddish color, and definitely worth checking out, especially if you have a good view of that western horizon. If you've got a lot of trees in your western view, this is going to be hard to see, so you're going to want to find a spot where you can actually view this. This isn't going to be way up in the sky. It's going to be low on the western horizon, and actually, we're not going to see the full eclipse because the moon's going to set at 7:09 before the eclipse is actually finished. But we'll have a good hour and a half almost where we can see a total lunar eclipse first thing Tuesday morning. So it looks like the weather is going to cooperate. Mostly clear skies for Monday night, Tuesday morning. Quick look at the longer range, 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center today, showing the changing pattern by mid-month as the colder air that's been building out west and will continue to build out west finally starts to come east in a modified form. I would not expect our temperature departures from average to be as significant around here, but our 60s and 70s for highs are going to be replaced by some days probably in the 40s for highs for at least a handful of days, starting next weekend, about 9, 10, 11 days from right now. So all good things are going to come to an end. We can't hang on to the 60s and 70s in November for long. And even though November is going to go in the record books as a warmer than average month, thanks to the first half of the month, and the fact that we're probably not going to be able to wash away those positive anomalies with the colder pattern at the end of the month or the second half of the month, despite the warmer than average look to November when it goes into the record books. The second half of the month does look quite a bit different than the first half of November. That's it for me tonight. Thanks for watching Weather for Weather Geeks. Have a great night, everyone, and we'll probably have our next version of this video coming your way on Monday.